Chicago, late 1920s. The city doesn't sleep, it waits. Smoke fills the air, jazz spills out of hidden clubs, money changes hands in dark corners, and at the center of it all, one man, Al Capone. He doesn't run Chicago from an office, he owns it. Politicians answer to him, police look the other way, judges hesitate before speaking his name. Bootleg liquor flows like water, violence follows close behind. If you cross him, you disappear. If you're loyal, you get rich. To the public, he's a celebrity, smiling, charming, generous. To his enemies, he's something else entirely. Because behind the tailored suits and easy grin is a man who built an empire on fear. Before the power, there was Brooklyn, a poor immigrant neighborhood, crowded, loud, unforgiving. That's where Alphonse Capone was born. His parents came from Italy, searching for something better. What they found was survival. Young Al wasn't born into power. He was born into pressure. School didn't last long. He dropped out after a violent incident with a teacher. Authority didn't inspire him. It challenged him. The streets became his classroom. Gangs became his structure. He joined the 5 Points Gang, one of the most notorious in New York. That's where he learned the rules. Not written rules, real rules. Power comes from perception. Fear is faster than respect. Loyalty can be bought or forced. He worked under men like Johnny Torrio, a calm, calculating figure who saw potential in him. Not just muscle, strategy, control. Capone wasn't reckless. He was observant. He watched how power moved, how influence spread, how violence could be used, sparingly, but effectively. When Torrio moved to Chicago, Capone followed, and that decision changed everything. Because Chicago wasn't just another city, it was an opportunity. Prohibition. Alcohol becomes illegal overnight. But demand doesn't disappear. It explodes. And Capone sees it before everyone else does. This isn't a crime problem. It's a business opportunity. He builds an empire on bootlegging, illegal alcohol production and distribution. But it's not just about selling liquor. It's about controlling the system around it. Supply, distribution, protection. Capone doesn't just participate, he dominates. Speakeasies across Chicago serve his alcohol. Trucks move his product. Police officers are paid to ignore it. Politicians are paid to support it. This is psychological control at scale. He uses fear, strategically. Violence isn't constant. It's selective, unpredictable. That's what makes it powerful. People don't just fear what he's done. They fear what he might do. At the same time, he builds loyalty. He hands out money, helps the poor, opens soup kitchens during the Great Depression. To some, he's a criminal. To others, he's a hero. This dual identity is intentional. It's manipulation through perception. Modern psychology calls this impression management. Control how people see you, and you control how they react to you. Capone mastered it. Charm in public, ruthlessness in private. And it worked. For years, no one could touch him. Law enforcement tried, again and again. Murder, extortion, illegal alcohol. Everyone knew he was responsible. But knowing isn't proving. Witnesses disappeared. Evidence vanished. Jurors were intimidated. Capone built a system that protected him from the outside, but not from everything. Because while the city feared him, the federal government was watching, including the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and more importantly, the U.S. Treasury Department. They realized something critical. You don't take down a man like Capone by chasing his violence. You follow his money. Capone made millions, but he didn't report it. No tax returns, no paper trail that matched his wealth. And that was the opening. Investigators began building a case, not for murder, but for tax evasion. It sounds small, almost insignificant, but it was airtight. Numbers don't get intimidated. Records don't disappear as easily as witnesses. In 1931, Capone was indicted, not as a violent crime boss, but as a man who failed to pay taxes, the most powerful criminal in America, brought down by accounting. He was convicted, sentenced to prison, first Atlanta, then Alcatraz. The empire didn't collapse overnight, but its foundation was gone. Capone's story isn't just about crime, it's about power. He understood something most people don't. Power isn't just force, it's perception. He built fear through unpredictability. He built loyalty through reward. He built influence through image. But those same traits contained the seeds of his downfall: overconfidence. He believed he was untouchable. Control addiction. He needed to dominate every system around him. Short-term thinking. He focused on immediate power, not long-term survival. Psychologically, this is a pattern. The traits that create rapid success often create rapid collapse. Charisma becomes manipulation. Confidence becomes arrogance. Control becomes isolation. And eventually, blind spots form. Capone didn't fall because he was weak. He fell because he believed he couldn't. What can we learn from this? Power attracts loyalty, but rarely the kind you can trust. Fear creates obedience, but never stability. And control is never as complete as it feels. Capone controlled a city, but he couldn't control the system above him, or the consequences below him. In everyday life, the same principles apply, just quieter. People who rely on intimidation lose trust. People who manipulate perception eventually lose credibility. And people who believe they're untouchable stop seeing the risks that surround them. The most dangerous illusion is thinking you're in complete control. Power doesn't destroy you when you gain it. It destroys you when you believe it can't be taken away. So what do you think ultimately destroyed Al Capone, the FBI, or himself?